Well, good afternoon. My apologies for getting in the way, but I had indicated that I would need to leave at 4, and since we are running late, I will still need to leave at 4. So what I will do is I'll just make a few brief comments, and then we can carry on with the normal process. The only 2 or 3 points that I wanted to make is that it is very clear and it's well established the correlation between libraries and scholarship, education, and literacy. But the vast majority of people in India don't have access to institutional libraries. Therefore, the only answer is public libraries. That's the only source that they can have for knowledge and information. But we're not doing very well on that score. The data that I read from what was given to Parliament is that we have some 45,000 odd public libraries. There are none in the panchayats. And of those, more recently, I think 15% have shut down, 2,000 in just one state alone. So it's not a great state of affairs. So the points I wanted to make is, while I think on what needs to be done, what can be done, what would be good to be done, are things that you have debated for best part of the day, and you will be discussing recommendations. The only place I thought I would add value is from my own background and that of NASSCOM, which is in terms of what is happening in IT, what's happening in technology, and what impact it can have on what we are doing. So the world today will not be 5 or 10 years from now the way we imagine it today. The way we live, the way we communicate, the way we gain knowledge, all of that has changed. So one of the comments I would like to make is we need to reimagine what we think a public library should be. When I was going to school and college, all knowledge, all learnings came from books. So I'd go to library and issue books. That was the only way. Today's kids, for them, the vast majority of learning and education is not coming from books. It's coming digitally, it's coming virally. I don't know if any of you watched the India Today conclave where Deepak Chopra was talking, and he was talking about his son who had all kinds of answers on how the universe was created and all the theories, and he was amazed at the guy's knowledge. And he said, "Where did you get this?" He said he got it on a video game. This is how kids are learning today. We have 1.2 billion people in the country, almost 1 billion mobile phones. The internet is coming to the mobile phone. Trillions of dollars globally are being spent on making this transition become extremely inexpensive. So we all need to understand that even in India, even in the rural segments, even in the villages, our kids will be on mobile phones. They will be accessing information globally. Because a lot of work is happening on regional languages, a lot of work is happening on connectivity. All of this will happen. I'll just give you an example. Just like we don't have libraries and enough books, we didn't have enough landlines. We hadn't laid enough cables. So we had 2 percentage point penetration of phones. Technology came, it made landlines redundant. Connectivity is 90%. That is what's going to happen to knowledge. So I just wanted to leave you with the thought that we should reimagine what a public library is. It really should be, to my mind, what you might say a knowledge center, a sort of gateway to continued learning that people can have on various social economic subjects. We can have classes and workshops, of course, on many of these subjects, including digital literacy. But it doesn't have to be only classes and workshops. Access in many ways may become easier, even in rural segments. And a public library in a village may well mean a knowledge center, which may have books, but that may be just one piece of the role that it's playing in that center. And digital literacy is very important because even the government is going paperless. So all of our citizens, all of our kids for today, how will they interact with government? They will need to have digital literacy. So the comments I just wanted to make is Yes, it will need a lot of reskilling, it will need capacity building, but we would be able through this route to give access to quality education, access to knowledge to our children by just redefining what a library is. Yes, we have to look at sustainable models of how we make it work. Public-private partnerships, whether they involve the government and public sector or government and private sector, are both absolutely doable models. There's a lot of interest in the corporate sector. There is this 2% CSR that's available. There's no country in the world that has mandated 2%. We've run it here. We should use it. Many corporates haven't thought of what they would do with 2%, so there's an opportunity for us to get to them. And the one thought I want to leave with is the national mission on libraries had many good suggestions, but the one suggestion that appealed to me most was the creation of this national virtual library. That is where we are heading. 20 years from now, that is the only way we will learn. It'll take a while, but it's coming much faster than we think. It's an area where certainly we at NASSCOM can help. We can collaborate. I know we're really partnering in a couple of states. We intend to do it in more states. And if there's any way that we can add value to what you're trying to do, we would be really delighted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.